Breaking news. Here are the top headlines for today. Kerala monsoon vulnerability and IMD dataset. SCCL receives PKOC to coal block allocation. Government stake sale in LIC. PMSHRI scheme implementation dilemma in Kerala. Assam floods situation. Hello, good morning and welcome to the Competitive Edges Daily Current Affairs series. Today is 4th August 2026 morning. We are here to help aspirants of civil services, APPSC Group 1 and 2, UPSC, SSC, RRB, Bank PO exams, Police SI and Constables, Junior and Degree College lecturers. Let's dive straight into the news. Moving on to news related to national. Kerala monsoon vulnerability and IMD dataset. Experts highlighted that the IMD's 125-year rainfall dataset provides sufficient insight into Kerala's vulnerable regions, countering claims of delayed weather forecasts. Background: frequent rain-induced calamities and landslides in Kerala have led to debates on long-term climate mitigation and disaster preparedness. Dataset timeline covers 125 years from 1901 to 2025. The dataset incorporates data from 110 weather stations across Kerala. Highlighted the need for pre-monsoon preparedness rather than relying solely on immediate weather alerts. Static GK. The India Meteorological Department functions under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, and was established in 1875 with headquarters in New Delhi. SCCL receives PKOC to coal block allocation. Singareni Collieries Company Limited received a major boost with the allocation of the PKOC to coal block. Background: coal block allocations are critical for augmenting domestic fuel supply for thermal power generation and industrial consumption in India. Allocated coal block, PKOC2. Beneficiary enterprise, Singareni Collieries Company Limited. Static GK. Singareni Collieries Company Limited is a government jointly owned coal mining company jointly owned by the Government of Telangana and the Government of India, headquartered in Kottagudem, Telangana. Government stake sale in LIC. The Government of India proposed to sell up to a 6.5% stake in the Life Insurance Corporation of India to raise disinvestment revenue. Background: strategic disinvestment of public sector undertakings helps the government bridge fiscal deficits and fund welfare schemes. Stake offered up to 6.5%. Number of shares over 82.22 crore shares. Floor price Rs 382 per share. Estimated disinvestment proceeds approximately Rs 31,000 crore. PMSHRI scheme implementation dilemma in Kerala. The United Democratic Front is caught between utilizing central educational funds and maintaining its political integrity regarding the Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India scheme. Background: several non-national Democratic Alliance-ruled states have expressed reservations regarding the conditional memorandum of understanding required for implementing central education schemes. Scheme involved Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India. Political conflict revolves around central funding versus state-level educational policies. Static GK. The Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India scheme aims to upgrade existing schools to showcase the implementation of the national education policy. Assam floods situation. Severe floods continue to affect multiple districts in Assam, increasing the death toll significantly. Background: Assam faces annual monsoon flooding primarily driven by the Brahmaputra River and its tributaries overflowing due to heavy upstream rainfall. Number of affected people, 1.28 lakh. Number of affected districts, 7. Cumulative death toll, 87. Worst hit district reporting recent deaths, Shivsagar. Static GK. Assam State Disaster Management Authority coordinates disaster response and mitigation efforts in the state. Treat water as infrastructure, CA. The Chief Economic Advisor emphasized treating water as core infrastructure that requires structured building and user financing. Background: rapid urbanization, and climate stress necessitate sustainable water management models and capital investment akin to transport and power infrastructure. Advocates treating water management systems as commercial infrastructure. Emphasizes the necessity of cost recovery and user fee payment for water services. Kaveri Water Dispute and Revised DPR. Minister of State Chaudhary informed Shri Kamal Hassan that the revised detailed project report has not been received by the Kaveri Water Management Authority. Background: interstate water disputes over the Kaveri River involve Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, and Puducherry, regulated under specific tribunal awards. Respondent Authority: Kaveri Water Tribunal Management Authority. Key document pending: revised detailed project report. Supreme Court summons Arunachal officials over CBI probe. The Supreme Court of India summoned top Arunachal Pradesh officials to explain alleged non-cooperation with a Central Bureau of Investigation probe. Background: the investigation pertains to allegations against Chief Minister Shri Pema Khandu regarding government contracts awarded to family-linked firms. Investigating agency: Central Bureau of Investigation. Entity involved: Government of Arunachal Pradesh. Context: alleged favoritism in government contracts over the past decade. Constitutional references: Article 131 and General Writ Jurisdictions of the Supreme Court of India. Thiruparangundram legal dispute. The Supreme Court of India agreed to hear a Tamil Nadu government plea regarding the Thiruparangundram controversy but denied granting any interim relief. The dispute involves the tradition of lighting a lamp on a stone pillar. The state government stated there are no historical records supporting the tradition of lighting the lamp on the pillar. The Supreme Court bench questioned the historical precedents before deciding to hear the matter. World Breastfeeding Week 2026. The Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research observed World Breastfeeding Week to promote maternal and child health. Background: World Breastfeeding Week is globally celebrated annually in the first week of August to raise awareness about the benefits of breastfeeding. The theme for World Breastfeeding Week 2026 is Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start in Life, Strengthen What Works. Observed by the Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research. Static GK. The Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research is located in Puducherry and is an institute of national importance. Sanyukt Kisan Morcha campaign against trade pacts. The Sanyukt Kisan Morcha announced plans to meet members of parliament and union ministers to campaign against international trade pacts. The Sanyukt Kisan Morcha argues that existing trade treaties harm domestic agricultural producers and farm workers. Campaign targets key policymakers including members of parliament and union ministers. Kerala monsoon floods and relief camps. Heavy rains continued to batter districts in Kerala, keeping numerous families displaced in relief camps. A total of 964 people from 365 families remained in 32 relief camps in Kozhikode district. In Wayanad district, 584 people remained across 14 relief camps after several displaced families returned home. Schools in affected areas remained shut for consecutive days due to heavy rainfall. Supreme Court ruling on footpaths as fundamental rights. The Supreme Court directed the Union Centre to ensure that pedestrians have access to safe footpaths. A bench headed by Justice P.S. Narasimha heard the matter. The court ruled that the right to a clean and broad footpath is a fundamental right. The judiciary noted that providing safe footpaths does not require massive capital investment from the state. Constitutional references derived under Article 21 of the Constitution of India, encompassing the right to life and a safe environment. 679th Foundation Day of Bahmani Empire. The 679th Foundation Day of the Bahmani Empire was celebrated at the tomb of its founder in Kalburagi. Background: the Bahmani Sultanate was the first independent Islamic kingdom in South India, founded in 1347. marked the 679th foundation day of the Bahmani Empire. Celebrated at the tomb of Alauddin Hasan Bahman Shah in Kalburagi city. Alauddin Hasan Bahman Shah was the founder and first ruler of the Sultanate. Static GK, Kalburagi, formerly known as Gulbarga, is located in the northern region of Karnataka and served as an early capital of the Bahmani Sultanate. Study on prolonged heat exposure during pregnancy. A recent study linked prolonged heat exposure during various trimesters of pregnancy to specific adverse birth outcomes. First trimester heat extremes were identified as most critical for preterm birth. Second trimester heat exposure showed the highest risk for low birth weight. Third trimester heat extremes correlated with a higher risk of stillbirth. Kaveri water realization drops to 50-year low. The quantum of Kaveri water received by Tamil Nadu in July reached a 50-year low amid acute scarcity. Monthly realization at Biligundulu failed to cross the 1,000 million cubic feet mark. Biligundulu received only 0.698 TMCFT against Tamil Nadu's stipulated share of 31.24 TMCFT. Marks a historic 50-year low for water inflow during the month of July. Parliamentary Panel Meeting on Meta's Content Moderation. Members of Parliament sparred during a parliamentary panel meeting discussing Meta's content moderation practices. Bharatiya Janata Party members of Parliament demanded an apology from Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg over the temporary restriction of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Facebook post. Opposition members cautioned against political influence over content moderation, advocating that technology should be regulated rather than democracy. Prolonged dry spell in North Karnataka taluks. A total of 111 taluks in North Karnataka experienced a prolonged dry spell, prompting the state government to assess the drought situation. Background: drought management in Karnataka involves categorizing affected regions into red and yellow zones to facilitate targeted relief measures by the state cabinet. Number of affected taluks: 111. Region affected: North Karnataka. Assessment categories: red zone and yellow zone. Static GK: Karnataka shares its borders with Goa, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Strengthening women self-help groups and crop diversification. Minister Sithakka emphasized the government's commitment to strengthening women self-help groups and advised farmers to adopt crop diversification. Focus areas: women self-help groups and crop diversification. Irrigation measure promoted effective use of farm ponds. Guidelines for Gig Workers Welfare Act. The state government finalized guidelines for the Gig Workers Welfare Act, with the new law expected to be implemented from 15th August. Background: the state legislature passed the bill on 30th March, subsequently forwarding it to Governor Shiv Pratap Shukla for assent. Date of bill passage in legislature: 30th March. Target implementation date: 15th August. Governor involved: Shri Shiv Pratap Shukla. Government to sell up to 6.5% stake in LIC via OFS. The central government announced the sale of up to a 6.5% stake in the Life Insurance Corporation of India through an offer for sale at a floor price of 382 rupees. Background: the government remains the majority shareholder in LIC and has been progressively divesting its stake following the insurer's initial public offering. Entity: Life Insurance Corporation of India. Stake to be sold up to 6.5%. Route: offer for sale. Floor price: 382 rupees. Contractual disputes and Article 226. The Telangana High Court ruled that parties bound by a contract cannot invoke Article 226 of the Constitution to bypass the arbitration clause. Background: the dispute originated from a concession agreement executed in 2007 between the Hyderabad Metropolitan Development Authority and Hyderabad Expressway Limited. The case involved a 2007 concession agreement between Hyderabad Metropolitan Development Authority and Hyderabad Expressway Limited. The Telangana High Court held that writ jurisdiction under Article 226 cannot be used to avoid pre-agreed arbitration mechanisms in commercial contracts. Constitutional references. Article 226 of the Constitution of India grants High Courts the power to issue writs. Monetary Policy Committee meeting and bond yields. A three-day Monetary Policy Committee meeting commenced with expectations of maintaining status quo on interest rates. India's 10-year government bond yield remained stable at around 6.7%. Bond traders did not price in an immediate change in interest rates. Static GK. The Monetary Policy Committee is a statutory body constituted under the Reserve Bank of India Act, 1934. Museum for Telangana Tribal Heroes. The Hyderabad Museum is being established to preserve the legacy of tribal heroes and Telangana's historical resistance movements. Location of the museum, Hyderabad. Primary objective, preserve legacy of tribal heroes and regional resistance movements. Static GK. Telangana has a rich history of tribal uprisings, most notably the Rampa Rebellion and the Telangana Peasant Armed Struggle. Telangana Samagra Shiksha Grants and POSH Act Orientation. The Telangana Intermediate Education Department organized an orientation program detailing Samagra Shiksha Grants and the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. Composite school grants sanctioned, 24.84 crore rupees for 418 government junior colleges. Computer rooms grant, 20 crore rupees for 80 colleges. Toilets grant, 1.90 crore rupees for 40 colleges. Vocational tools grant, 1.68 crore rupees. Sports grants, 1.04 crore rupees for 416 colleges. Organ pledges and transplant family hesitation. Officials suggested new policies requiring hospitals to encourage families of transplant recipients to register as organ donors due to low pledge rates. Proposed policy targets families of both government and private hospital transplant recipients. Focuses on boosting diseased organ donation registries. Demand for release of fee reimbursement arrears. Bharatiya Janata Party Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, Shri Krishnaye demanded the immediate release of 8,000 crore rupees in fee reimbursement arrears. Demand raised by Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Shri Krishnaye. Amount demanded 8,000 crore rupees. Key concern raised, proposed closure or merger of 23,000 government schools and gurukulas. Security measures and counter-terror operations in Jammu and Kashmir. Recent militant attacks in Jammu and Kashmir triggered massive security responses including cordon and search operations and heightened counter-terror grids. Government directives include mandatory registration for outsiders and workers. Employer-provided insurance has been made compulsory. Focus has been placed on dignified last rites for terror victims to restore public trust. Telangana revised fee reimbursement rules. Student outfits are opposing direct bank transfers under the revised fee reimbursement rules approved by the Telangana Cabinet. Background: the policy was taken up by the Cabinet on 2nd July following Government Order Manuscript Number 9. Tuition and maintenance amounts will be credited directly to eligible students. Bank accounts must be Aadhaar seeded. The new rule comes into effect from the 2026-27 academic year. Supreme Court flags Central Bureau of Investigation probe hurdles in Arunachal Pradesh. A two-judge bench of the Supreme Court pulled up officials for alleged non-cooperation with the Central Bureau of Investigation status report in Arunachal Pradesh. The bench comprised Justices Vikram Nath and Sandeep Mehta. Officers were directed to remain present before the court with their responses. Constitutional references, Article 130 to Article 136 of the Constitution of India. Indian Institute of Technology Hyderabad launches Anugyan Nuclear Training Program. The Indian Institute of Technology Hyderabad launched a specialized nuclear technology orientation program to train industry and public sector professionals. Course name: Anugyan Nuclear Technology Orientation Program, DOP. Duration: 3-month residential course. Participants include personnel from engineering institutions, public sector organizations, and industry. India hikes windfall tax on diesel, petrol, and jet fuel. The central government hiked the windfall profit tax on domestically produced crude oil and petroleum products. Total duty on diesel exports raised to 25.5 rupees per litre. The increase combines to levies, up from 15.5 rupees a fortnight ago. Hyderabad Police Artificial Intelligence Command Centers. Hyderabad Police is rolling out artificial intelligence command centers equipped with advanced surveillance technologies. Announced by City Police Commissioner V.C. Sajjanar. Mobile command and control vehicles will feature artificial intelligence-based crowd monitoring. Technologies include precise crowd counting and facial recognition cameras for identifying offenders. Flight operations tech defects reported. The government reported a total of 352 major technical defects in flight operations up to June. Total major technical defects reported, 352. Defects related to domestic services, 334. Defects pertained to international flights, 18. Data period covers flight operations until June. WPI inflation rise in June. Wholesale price index-based inflation rose to 9.87% in June, driven by global commodity prices. Background: Wholesale price index measures the changes in the prices of goods sold and traded in wholesale bulk for institutional sales. WPI inflation for June, 9.87%. WPI inflation for May, 9.68%. Primary driver of inflation, global commodity prices. Calculated on a year-on-year basis. Mandatory V2V safety tech for new vehicles. The central government proposed mandatory vehicle-to-vehicle safety technology for all new vehicles starting October 2028. Standard developed AIS 230. Implementation deadline October 2028. Target: all new vehicles manufactured in the country. Objective: specify minimum technical safety features for vehicular communication. India CAD projection for FY27. India's current account deficit is projected to widen to 2% in financial year 27 due to external economic risks. Background: current account deficit measures the gap between the nation's total earnings from foreign trade and its total foreign expenditure. Projected CAD for FY27, 2%. Key external risks: commodity price pressures and supply chain disruptions. Additional factors: weakening external demand and global financial conditions. ONGC Strategic Oil Storage Reservation. Oil and Natural Gas Corporation has decided to reserve half of its new oil storage capacity for strategic reserves. Background: strategic petroleum reserves are emergency fuel storages maintained by countries to buffer against supply disruptions. Storage reservation share: 50% of new oil storage. Initiative: Union Government expanding strategic petroleum reserve capacity. Involvement: private participation included in the expansion framework. Tech giants before Parliamentary IT panel. Representatives of Google and Meta appeared before the Parliamentary Information Technology panel regarding a technical glitch and subsequent explanations. Companies involved: Google and Meta. Reason for appearance: technical glitch attribution by the social media giant. Government stance: Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology found the initial explanation inadequate. Static GK, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, is the executive agency responsible for IT policy, electronics, and internet governance in India. Kaveri crisis and Mekedatu Dam protest. Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam led a protest over the Kaveri water crisis, demanding an agricultural loan waiver and opposition to Karnataka's Mekedatu Dam. Key demands: complete waiver of agricultural loans and official declaration of delta districts as drought affected. Core opposition, construction of Karnataka's proposed Mekedatu Dam. Key political figure leading protest, Shri Udyanidhi. Static GK, Kaveri River originates in Talkaveri in the western Ghats of Karnataka and flows through Karnataka and Tamil Nadu before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. Constitutional references. Water disputes are addressed under Article 262 of the Constitution of India and the Interstate River Water Disputes Act, 1956. Demise of Justice M.S. Librahan. Justice Manmohan Singh Librahan, head of the commission that probed the Babri Masjid demolition, passed away at 87. Background: he headed the Librahan Commission, which was set up by the Government of India on 16 December 1992 to investigate the demolition of the disputed structure in Ayodhya. Passed away at the age of 87. Headed the Librahan Commission appointed in December 1992. Served as a former Chief Justice of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh and High Court of Madras. Tax breaks extension for contract manufacturing. India proposed extending tax breaks for contract manufacturing to boost companies like Apple and diversify smartphone production. Background: India has actively promoted the Make in India initiative and production-linked incentive schemes to attract global electronics manufacturers away from China. India is projected to manufacture 26% of the world's iPhone devices in the year 2026. Manufacturing share was only 6% 4 years prior to the projection. Data provided by market research firm Counterpoint Research. Protest over Mekedatu Dam and farmer arrests. Tamil Nadu farmers travelling by train to Delhi to protest against the Mekedatu Dam project were arrested by the Maharashtra State Police in Nagpur. Background: the Mekedatu Balancing Reservoir and Drinking Water Project is proposed across the Kaveri River by the government of Karnataka, facing stiff opposition from Tamil Nadu. Farmers from Tamil Nadu were arrested in Nagpur by Maharashtra State Police. Protest was aimed at halting the construction of the Mekedatu Dam. Highlighted interstate river water disputes. Constitutional references. Article 262 of the Constitution of India provides for the adjudication of disputes relating to waters of interstate rivers or river valleys. Lok Sabha passes bill raising Supreme Court judge strength. The Lok Sabha passed legislation replacing an ordinance to increase the maximum judge strength of the Supreme Court of India. Background: the strength of the Supreme Court has been progressively increased via constitutional amendments and legislative acts over decades to tackle mounting case backlogs. Total sanctioned judge strength of the Supreme Court raised to 38. The legislation replaced an earlier promulgated ordinance. Bill was cleared without debate amidst opposition protests. Constitutional references. Article 124 of the Constitution of India deals with the establishment and constitution of the Supreme Court. Kaveri Water Dispute and Mekedatu Project. Political leaders raised concerns seeking clarity and safeguards regarding the Mekedatu project and the broader Kaveri water sharing arrangement. Background: the Kaveri water dispute involves sharing of waters between the riparian states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and the Union Territory of Puducherry. Involves principal parties Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Refers to interstate river water sharing conflicts. Centers around the proposed Mekedatu Balancing Reservoir project. Constitutional references. Entry 56 of List I and Article 262 of the Constitution of India regarding interstate water disputes. Moving on to news related to state, Andhra Pradesh. High Power Committee for Tribal Issues in ASR District. A High Power Committee has been proposed to effectively address long-standing tribal grievances and developmental challenges in the Alluri Sitharam Raju District. Background: Alluri Sitharam Raju District in Andhra Pradesh houses significant tribal populations that require focused administrative attention for land rights, health, and education. Target region: Alluri Sitharam Raju District, Andhra Pradesh. Objective: address tribal issues through a dedicated high power committee. FTCCI and TGSPDCL Solar Consultation. the Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industry and Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana Limited held a consultation to address grievances under the PM-KUSUM scheme. Capacity of projects underway under PM-KUSUM, 1,400 megawatts. Key issues addressed: transmission problems and neighbor disputes for farmers. Organizations involved: FTCCI and TGSPDCL. Audit on PSA plants and liquid medical oxygen in Andhra Pradesh. Health Minister Shri Satya Kumar Yadav ordered an audit of idle pressure swing adsorption oxygen plants and liquid medical oxygen purchases made by government hospitals. Official: Health Minister Shri Satya Kumar Yadav. Target of audit: idle PSA oxygen plants and liquid medical oxygen purchases. Context: post-COVID-19 pandemic infrastructure review. Andhra Pradesh to use central funds for SC/ST fees. The Andhra Pradesh government announced reforms to utilize central assistance for SC and ST student fees to ensure zero fee arrears. Objective: zero fee arrears and timely release of scholarships. Funding source: central assistance for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Constitutional references: Articles 15, 46, promotion of educational and economic interests of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and weaker sections. NTCA probe into missing tigers in Andhra Pradesh. The National Tiger Conservation Authority launched a probe into missing tigers in the Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve and urged heightened anti-poaching vigilance. Background: Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve spans across Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and is India's largest tiger reserve by area. Investigating agency: National Tiger Conservation Authority. Reserve affected: Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve. Core issue: missing tigers and anti-poaching measures. Static GK: Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve is spread across Nallamala ranges covering districts of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Kurnool Sona rice price capped at 52 rupees per kilogram. Following a surge in Kurnool Sona rice prices, the Civil Supplies Department capped the retail rate at 52 rupee per kilogram. Commodity: Kurnool Sona rice. Capped retail price: 52 rupee per kilogram. Affected districts noted: Kurnool, Nandyal, and Anantapur. Tigress death in Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve. A post-mortem examination revealed that Tigress NSTR T66F died due to starvation and injuries from a porcupine clash. Background: monsoon is the breeding period for tigers, during which specific females are monitored closely. Diseased tigress identified as NSTR T66F. Cause of death confirmed as starvation and porcupine quill injuries. Incident occurred in the Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve. Static GK: Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve spans across Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, making it the largest tiger reserve in India. AP government seeks report on tigress death. Principal Secretary to Environment and Forests Shri Kantilal Dande issued Go RT 91 to probe the suspicious death of tigers in the Nagarjunsagar Srishalam Tiger Reserve. Government order issued Go RT 91. Issued by Principal Secretary to Environment and Forests Shri Kantilal Dande. IMD report on rainfall post-monsoon in AP. The India Meteorological Department reported that a strong El Nino factor deprived monsoon systems in the Bay of Bengal. Background: Director of Cyclone Warning Center Shri PLN Murthy noted anomalies in West Central and Southeast Bay of Bengal. Observing Authority, India Meteorological Department Cyclone Warning Center. Key Official, Director Shri PLN Murthy. Primary climatic factor cited: strong El Nino. Visakhapatnam-Moscow Smart City Cooperation Pact. Visakhapatnam signed a cooperation pact with Moscow to advance smart city initiatives and transport technologies. The partnership aims to adopt advanced transport technologies. It focuses on implementing global best practices for urban development in Visakhapatnam. Andhra Pradesh Market Intervention for Rice Price Control. The government of Andhra Pradesh initiated market intervention measures to curb the rising price of rice by selling BPT variety through special counters. Specific rice variety (BPT). Mechanism: special counters opened to sell rice at subsidized or lower rates. Objective: ease consumer burden against the price spiral. Odisha enhanced flood relief and compensation. The Odisha state government announced enhanced relief for flood-hit families along with increased house damage and crop loss compensations. Announcements include higher compensation for house damages. Financial assistance provided for crop losses sustained by farmers. Target beneficiaries: flood-affected families in the state. Moving on to news related to international. Indian Air Force Chief visits Vietnam. The Chief of the Air Staff undertook a 3-day official visit to Vietnam to deepen bilateral defense and strategic cooperation. Background: India and Vietnam share a comprehensive strategic partnership with a strong emphasis on maritime security, capacity building, and defense manufacturing. Duration: 3-day visit. Focus area: air domain collaboration and bilateral defense partnership. Partner nation: Vietnam. Bangladesh diplomatic concerns over Sheikh Hasina's media event. The Bangladesh government expressed concern that a media event featuring former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina could strain bilateral ties with India. Dhaka urged India to prevent its territory from being used for political statements aimed at destabilizing Bangladesh. The official stance was conveyed through reports from Bangladesh's official news agency. Supreme Court seeks diplomatic effort for missing sailor. The Supreme Court of India directed the Ministry of External Affairs to coordinate with Indian embassies in Ukraine and Romania to search for a missing seafarer. Background: the plea was filed by Sandeep Kumar Gupta, the elder brother of the missing sailor, seeking urgent governmental intervention for search and rescue. Petitioner: Sandeep Kumar Gupta. Countries involved for diplomatic coordination: Ukraine and Romania. Target agency: Ministry of External Affairs. Constitutional references: Article 32 of the Constitution of India, writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. India's performance at Commonwealth events. India secured the 4th position globally behind Australia, England, and Canada with a total of 39 medals. Total medals won: 39. Gold medals: 13. Silver medals: 17. Bronze medals: 9. Final standing: 4th place. India's bid for United Nations Security Council non-permanent seat. India is actively competing for a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council in elections scheduled for next year. Background: Tajikistan is the other candidate in the Asia-Pacific group, backed by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. UN elections are scheduled for June next year. India's primary competitor in the Asia-Pacific group is Tajikistan. Tajikistan holds the endorsement of the 56 voting members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. United States-Iran escalation and diplomatic stance. United States leadership renewed threats of military action against Tehran, citing a loss of faith in ongoing negotiations. United States administration expressed a loss of faith in diplomatic negotiations with Iran. Warnings issued regarding severe potential military strikes. India-UK trade deal export potential. The upcoming trade deal with the United Kingdom is expected to generate around $1 billion United States dollars in incremental exports. Expected incremental exports, around $1 billion United States dollars. Previous tariff disadvantage removed, 12% on apparel and home textiles. Impact: significantly improves landed cost competitiveness of Indian products in the UK market. Tehran strategy on Hormuz conflict. Iran is signaling to Washington that military conflict is costlier than accepting its demands for a greater role in the Strait of Hormuz. Location of strategic focus, Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf. Tehran's core demand, a new status quo giving Iran a greater role in the region. Warning, conflict could spread beyond the Gulf if demands are ignored. Static GK, the Strait of Hormuz is a vital choke point connecting the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. Global chip shortage impacts Apple MacBook Air. Global availability of Apple's MacBook Air has been affected due to an acute global semiconductor chip shortage. Background: the semiconductor industry faces severe supply chain bottlenecks driven by unprecedented demand for specialized components used in artificial intelligence infrastructure. Supply crunch driven by high demand for HBM to DRAM memory chips. HBM to DRAM is heavily utilized in artificial intelligence servers and high-performance computing systems. Affected product lines include the MacBook Air. This is all for now. Let us meet again in the next session of Current Affairs. Until then, test your knowledge by attempting quizzes. If our resources are useful to you and think may benefit your friends, well-wishers and neighborhood, share the links to them. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss latest updates. Also coming soon on our channel, General Studies series, Arithmetic and Mental Ability series, and Verbal and Nonverbal Reasoning. Stay tuned.